CEBALLOS is a member of the Chicago Bulls. The final meeting between the Bulls and the Mavericks coming your way next. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ron Thulin, sitting in for Jim Durham, once again joined by Bob Ortigal. And Bob, we're going to show Michael Jordan's numbers, but when you look at Michael Jordan, you really have to get past the numbers, the high-flying dunks, the spectacular plays, and really watch how he plays the game.
He's absolutely the best. He plays some tremendous mind games. He is a guy that is the best to ever play the game. There has never been one like him. There may not ever be one like him again. Michael Jordan, I don't know what more you can say other than the fact that he is something else.
And it's like a rock concert type atmosphere here at Reunion Arena. As we look at the Pontiac Keys, here are some of the numbers of Michael Jordan.
9 scoring titles. This could be number 10 this year. 31.7. That is a career average, not a yearly average, a career average. 4 times he's been the NBA most valuable player. 5 times he's been the NBA Finals most valuable player. Michael Jordan, that's what it's all about. A very good post-up player. Watch him make contact with a defense and then create space for himself to back up and shoot the jumper. Here's another look at the same kind of move. He backs in, makes contact, creates space, separates himself, and hits the jumper. And he will play the other end of the floor. A very good defender, a good on-the-ball defender, and as you can see, a very good help-side defender with a block shot right there.
I think people forget about Michael Jordan's defense. He was the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, but let's not forget about the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the last 6 games, Bob, they have been playing extremely well. It coincides with Cedric Ceballos starting, and that Ceballos-Finley combination has been successful.
And Don Nelson's happy with this, folks. He really likes the chemistry that exists between Ceballos and Finley. They have been doing an excellent job. Look at what has happened in the last 6 games since they have started together. The first and most important thing is the Mavericks have won 3 of the 6. They are averaging between them better than 42 points a ball game. The team averages just under 109 as compared with 89 points in the first 56 games of the year, and the team is shooting 46% versus 41.7% before those two started together. So it's been a real plus, a real positive.
Now, they're going to have their hands full this evening, but there are an awful lot of people here at Reunion Arena, something the Chicago Bulls are used to, and that is sellouts. Here's John Radigan to explain it. John?
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, you know, there will be 18,255 people here at Reunion Arena tonight. That is more people than have ever been at Reunion Arena for a sporting event. History will be made here, and get this, will be the 291st consecutive sellout crowd to see the Chicago Bulls play. They have sold out every arena, every game since Michael Jordan returned from baseball in March of 1995. Now, in that stretch, it has included some domes like the Georgia Dome and the Alamo Dome, and there aren't official sellouts at those places, but they've jammed as many as 45,000 people in to see Bulls games there. 45,000, not quite, but 18,255, not too shabby here tonight. Ron, Bobby, back to you guys.
All right, but it has been a while since the Dallas Mavericks have protected their home court. In fact, the Bulls have won 9 straight. The last time Dallas won here at Reunion Arena against the Bulls, how about November of 1987? We'll step aside when we come back. More on the King, Michael Jordan. Bulls and Mavericks coming your way next.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up but never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. By AutoZone
Center in Chicago. Miami had won 11 consecutive road games coming into that ball game, and the Bulls took charge in the very first period with Jordan getting 16 points. So I'm sure that that the coaching staff, directed by Phil Jackson, I'm sure that they look at this game and, you know, have made this club aware of the fact that that they need to be careful. But I don't know how aware you have to make them, Ron. This is a veteran club, and a club that has a lot of years experience and a lot of years of age. They got a lot of guys in their mid-30s.
Phil Jackson, a disciple of Bill Fitch, has won an NBA title, a CBA title. Our officials tonight, one of the best, Dick Bavetta, puts on his own show. Ron Alesiak and Leroy Richardson. Dick Bavetta will be tossing it up. You talked about the Bulls and winning. Over the years, I found out that the Chicago Bulls win every way possible, whether they're tired, whether they're injured, home, away. More importantly, they win with style. KUKOC jumping center. Michael's going to let it jump out. They're going to redo it again. Not sure who touched it last. Chicago, 46-16, 17-13 away from the United Center. Currently on top in the Central Division. 3 games up on Indiana. But you hit it on the head. Was that Miami game Tuesday night vintage Chicago Bulls?
Yes, it was. And they do that. Every time somebody makes a little bit of a threat. Indiana did it several weeks ago and went into Chicago, and that was it. I mean, the Bulls just nailed it.
Well, Tony KUKOC didn't even jump, but the Bulls get it. Here's Scottie Pippen to Michael, working on Strickland. The triangle, they're trying to set it up on the left side. Scottie will take the first shot. Rodman, the leading rebounder in the NBA. Harper, nothing but net.
And immediately the Bulls get a second chance opportunity and convert it as a result of the offensive rebound from Rodman.
Ron Harper has changed his game so drastically when he played for Cleveland and the Clippers. Once a 20-point score, now about 6. Finley's first shot off the back of the iron. Rebound Harper.
He got a very good look. Michael Finley had a good shot.
KUKOC running, has got the 2. KUKOC averaging a shade under 13. Finley to Strickland, has it rejected, and the Bulls come the other way.
Mavericks good offensive pressure.
KUKOC saw the opening, took it. AC keeps it alive. The Mavs on the run. Reeves to CEBALLOS to the hole.
Good offensive pressure again. It's rather obvious that in 2 possessions coming out of the defensive end of the floor, the Mavericks really push the ball. They want to make the Bulls get back. They know that the Bulls have come off 2 very impressive victories, and that's pretty good strategy. Push it right at them.
Exactly. You have to run against the Bulls is the basic philosophy of most coaches. Harper, the finger roll with the left hand, and Harper checks in with 4.
I think what happens if you get caught up in a half-court game with them, they're so good team defensively.
Oh, yes.
They're a better team defensive team than they are individual defenders. Talked to Tex Winter about that prior to the game, and Tex, a very capable assistant of Phil Jackson, has a lot to do with the success of his club.
76-year-old Hall of Famer Tex Winter. Harper with the miss.
A little extra adrenaline for the Mavericks, and it's pretty obvious. The shots have been long so far.
Sometimes you have to let the emotion subside so you get down to execution. Michael's first shot is going to be rebounded by Reeves. Finley running the floor. Reeves pulls it back out. Michael had about a half a step on the defense. He'll launch it. Pippen with a rebound. The Chicago Bulls, one of the best rebounding teams always in the NBA. Pippen to the hole.
They're the best right now. They lead the NBA in rebounding. And they have an advantage on the boards right now of 5-2 on the boards for Chicago.
Biggest ever crowd ever to see a sporting event at Reunion Arena. 18,255. They are packed to the gills. On the backdoor cut, Strickland with a reverse.
Very nice execution. Chicago up tight in a denial position. Strickland went backdoor, and Finley delivered.
Michael Jordan posting up, not going to get it. Michael still looking for his points. Finley blows by Harper. And it is an 8-6 game. Bulls lead it by 2, and Phil Jackson's going to call a 20-second timeout, and Phil doesn't like what he sees. Talking to Dennis Rodman.
And you see the way he moved his arm. What he's referring to is Rodman getting up and down the floor. The defensive transition is a concern right now for Jackson. Chicago is always so very good at adapting to things. You can expect that they will adapt to that. But excellent back cut by Strickland. The pass was from Michael Finley. We have talked in the last 6 games since CEBALLOS has become a starter how much better passer Michael Finley has become, because CEBALLOS has relieved the offensive pressure from Finley and opened up the court a little bit, so Finley is delivering the ball more.
See the field goals. Bulls at 50%. Mavericks just a shade under it. Jordan gives it up to Harper. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. It's at 10. KUKOC, Michael just inside the arc, and he's got his first 2 of the ball game. Michael, the last 5 games, has averaged 34 points a contest. He's the NBA's leading scorer at 28.5 a game. Strickland from the outside, and he buries it.
It's a good curl cut by Eric Strickland that time. He didn't flare coming off that pick. He curled.
Rodman on the foul, but we have a whistle and a foul prior to the dunk.
You immediately see the response from Rodman coming out of that timeout when Jackson was talking to him. It's the pass over the top with a left hand. Jordan does not get it to go, but he was fouled. The foul by Rodman did not count. The whistle had blown.
Foul was on Reeves. Here is Michael Jordan at the line. 80% on the year for Michael Jordan.
You might be alert to some kind of defensive pressure. In this particular case, they will mix things up. They normally do not. Chicago, that is. They normally do not do it early in the game, and that's the case right now.
Michael, in his 13th year out of North Carolina, has 3. Bulls lead it by 3. Outside, Finley a little bit strong. Rodman fights for the rebound. Dick Bavetta says it belongs to the guys in white.
And Strickland made the play. A good effort. Great hustle by Eric Strickland. He helps get the ball back for the Mavericks.
You and I were talking when Strickland came out to do warm-ups. He looked like a deer in headlights. He had his game face on, did he not?
He really did. He was really focused, and he should be. He's got the assignment of guarding Michael Jordan.
Stiff arm that shot. Here comes Pippen. KUKOC on the left, gives it up to KUKOC, and the spider from Split.
Pippen,
that was 4.
Pippen is so unselfish.
Well, he averages just under 6 assists a game, and most everybody believes, from an all-around standpoint, he could be the best in the league. CEBALLOS on the inside. Michael comes up with a loose rock. Here comes Pippen again. 25 tickets he had to purchase for tonight's game. Asked him before the game if everybody from Arkansas has come over for this one. Dennis Rodman only has 6. He said, I had to limit it to just my mom and a couple of her friends. Pippen posted up on Strickland. The bank is closed. Rodman can't put it back. 3rd consecutive year Dennis Rodman has seen his field goal percentage go down, and that is difficult to understand considering he has so many putback opportunities. Illegal defense, Chicago, that'll be the first.
Dennis Rodman, first to the game.
Rodman wasn't sure where he wanted to go.
He was definitely below the free throw line with his man above the top of the circle. The man was in the upper zone, and he was too far down.
Since the All-Star game, Bulls 12-1. Mavericks and CEBALLOS starting, averaging over 100 points a game, up from 89. Jordan takes it away, averages just about 6 rebounds a game. KUKOC inside from Dennis Rodman. Count it, we have a push.
Finley's getting some pretty good looks for the Mavericks, but he's not getting the ball to go yet, but he will.
Second team.
Foul is on Khalid Reeves. That is his second team foul, and we have a timeout. 6:44 left to play in the first. Biggest lead of the game for the Bulls. It's at 7. Mavericks Saturday night, the New Jersey Nets. John Calipari, Sam Cassell and company make an appearance. Dallas Morning News, Dr. Pepper Family Night. Tuesday, the Celtics with Rick Pitino, the mentor for John Calipari, coming to town. Then it's the Golden State Warriors, and that'll be PJ Carlissimo, and for 50 cents, we'll let you look at his neck. Tony KUKOC completes the 3-point play. Tony was 7 in the ball game, and the lead now is up to 8.
That time they go to the full court pressure after the free throw. I talked about that earlier. They will mix that up a little bit. They give you different looks defensively, trying to take you out of any kind of rhythm.
Don't you see how they just push you farther and farther out to begin your offense? When they put just that little 2-man pressure, you're forced to begin your offense instead of 23 feet in. You're about 28 feet in. That's a big difference.
And that's a delay of game. AC Green just picked the ball, or kicked the ball, when Ron Harper went down to pick it up, and Mavericks get nailed for a delay of game. You're exactly right. If you can force an offense farther out on the floor than it wants to operate, your defense is doing a good job.
Pippen backing in, saw the double for a second from Reeves. Nice ball movement, the Bulls. Michael nicked the rim. Here comes CEBALLOS. He's running.
He's trying to get to the hole.
The turnaround, and that is what Cedric CEBALLOS will have to do to be successful this evening. He has 4. The lead has been trimmed to half a dozen.
Mavericks doing a nice job pushing the ball, attacking the Bulls, and I think you have to do that.
Bulls a little bit cold this evening. Mavs need to take advantage of this in the early going. Finley had a step on Pippen, pulled the trigger and buried it.
Oh, he gave a great fake. He caused Scottie Pippen to move to the inside. A good 3 feet.
Timeout, Chicago.
And the Bulls, Phil Jackson doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to take a timeout. 5.5 to play in the first. 4-point Bulls lead.
book drive. Bring 4 books to a game or to the Half Breaks Books, any location, and you get free tickets. Season ticket holders get 2 complimentary tickets. Non-season ticket holders get a 2-for-1 admission, and I'm going to help out the cause here. I've got a couple of children's books. You got to bring children's books. I got a couple of them. I haven't finished this one yet, though, Ron and Bobby, so I'm going to finish it, and then I'll put it in the box, too. Back to you guys.
Well, John, read them. Don't just look at the pictures.
Yeah, and the other thing, John, don't read them now. Watch this game. Read them when you get home.
Hubert Davis has checked into the lineup for the Mavericks. Michael posting up. Finley got a piece of it. Pippen 1 dribble, no place to go, but he'll still launch it, and he'll bury it.
You see, they don't get in a hurry. The Bulls, not only are they extremely talented, but they have excellent temperament as a team. Pippen just waited. The defense was right there. He just waited till he had a little bit of room, and then he shot the ball.
Dallas lost the first meeting between these two teams, 111 to 105. That was back on December the 29th. Have lost 6 straight to the Bulls, 9 straight here at Reunion, and Pippen is leaving his mark. He has 6 in the ball game, and the lead is now at 8. Boy, you just can't take that one shot and go the other way against these guys.
No, because you don't have any lanes to the offensive board opened up when you do that. It's a nice defensive play by Strickland. Excellent defensive play. Harper was posting up.
Rodman cut it off. CEBALLOS the 2 off the rim.
You got to make shots. In the final analysis, you got to make shots. And so far, the Mavericks have not shot the ball well.
KUKOC, that's what he does so well, threading the needle on the pass to Pippen. KUKOC averages about 4 assists a ball game. You look at the top 4 scorers of this team, and every one of them above 2.5 assists, including Luke Longley. That shows that they're unselfish, but yet they all still get their points.
Well, they have a pretty good example. You know, when Jordan is willing to give up the ball, then his teammates are going to be willing to give it up. KUKOC with the excellent pass over the top of the defense there to Pippen. And the problem with that pass was that if you're going to front a post man, you have to pressure the passer. And you got to remember, if it's in the mind of the passer, it has to be in the mind of the receiver. So consequently, when you front that post man, your teammate must move up and really pressure the passer. And speaking of pressuring the passer, that guy knows a little bit about pressure on the passer, Troy Aikman.
But you know, Bob, he's in the 3rd row. I mean, you know, he's 15-1. He's in the 1st row. You're losing record. You go back to the 3rd row. Next TV game, by the way, will be Saturday night. That'll be on Fox Sports Net, and I will be sitting in again for Jim Durham as the New Jersey Nets come to town. New Jersey with a very disappointing loss to San Antonio 2 nights ago with 1.1 second left. David Robinson took 2.5 seconds to shoot it, but the clock didn't start, and the New Jersey Nets lost. Nets at Houston tonight.
Scottie Pippen so far in this ball game playing awfully well. He's got 8 points, 4 out of 7 from the field. But remember, he directs their offense at the point. More often than not, you will see Jordan and Harper on the wings with Pippen given that direction offensively.
Well, we'll keep you updated on John's progress on the books.
I'll tell you what, John's never been paid any more money in his life to read than right there. How about that?
Well, you lost the bet. He can read. He's a sports guy. Sports guys don't read. Now the Mavericks will be going with CEBALLOS, Strickland, Hubert Davis, Finley, and Green. Chicago Bulls with the same starting 5 that began the game. Shooting percentage, you can see the Mavericks at 38%, the Bulls at 56%. Bulls 45% on the year. That's 17th best in the NBA. Not as good as they have in the past, but you have to remember Scottie Pippen being out that long period of time really hurt them in the early going. Green from the elbow. Oh, baby, put it in the books for Michael Finley.
That's just super. That is absolutely a tremendous offensive rebound in traffic.
Jordan only 1 of 4 shooting the basketball so far. Triangle now sets up on the left. Harper in and out. Rebound controlled by AC Green.
Chicago getting too many good looks, too many easy looks.
AC game number 959 is Finley starting to feel it. Finley has 8, and the Mavericks have trimmed the lead to 6. 3:25 to play.
Michael Finley is now 4 for 8 from the field and is getting some good open looks at the bucket.
KUKOC had the pass. Dennis just didn't see it. (22-16). Bulls lead it by 6. Strickland out front. Michael on him. member of the NBA's all-defensive team, seems like every year. People don't talk about his defense enough.
How about this? He needs 8 rebounds coming into this game to become the all-time rebounder for the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan does.
Oh, baby! Michael Finley as the shot clock read 2.
And that's the kind of shot that Jordan will shoot. That one right there, that fadeaway jump shot.
Pippen getting cut off by Finley. Pippen's got to give it up. KUKOC with 10 on the shot clock. Strickland trying to cut off the passing lane so Michael doesn't even have the ball in his hands. Pippen will take it. Rebound Finley. Mavs can pull within 2 or maybe even 1. Bradley and Kerr set to check into the lineup. Strickland for 3. Rebound AC Green. Back to Hubert Davis.
Green operating against Rodman inside. There it is.
Oh, Finley with his second jam of the evening.
That's that Ceballos-Finley connection once again.
Michael Finley with 12 in the ball game, and it's a 2-point Bulls lead. 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Strickland leaning, Jordan the fall away, nothing but the bottom of the net.
We saw that in our open. He'll make contact, he creates some space, shoots the fadeaway.
The lead is back to 4. Strickland working off a pick from Finley. Keeps his dribble. 9 to shoot. Davis on KUKOC. AC wide open baseline jumper.
Green cannot get that jumper to go tonight like he did at the MCI Center against Washington that night. He shot that jump shot very well.
Scottie Pippen, the MVP of the '94 All-Star game. To KUKOC, the Croatian sensation. Dennis keeps it alive. Harper can't get it. It'll belong to the Bulls with 19 to shoot.
Strickland with a defensive play. Michael Finley a few moments ago on the cut. Cedric Ceballos with a pass. Finley with a catch and the finish.
Now Rodman, KUKOC, and Harper will sit down. Dickie Simpkins, Scott Burrell check into the lineup, and Steve Kerr. Sean Bradley comes in, and AC Green will sit down for the Mavericks. Dickie Simpkins, what a story he's had. Former Bull, was with Golden State, was waived, signed right after the Jason Caffey fiasco. Brought in strictly for defensive purposes. Jordan the pull-up over 2 defenders. Bradley can't get it. Kerr does.
Good defensive job by the Mavericks that time, but the boards are really hurting the Mavericks.
Ceballos got a piece of it, still loose. Burrell to Pippen. Pippen will launch the 3, and he buries it. Pippen with 11 in the ball game. Finley shot from the outside. Bradley, nice pass from Finley to Ceballos.
That's the Finley-Ceballos connection. The last time we saw Ceballos to Finley. The chemistry's good. They work well together. They're unselfish. And what they are doing is becoming infectious with the Maverick basketball team.
5-point lead for the Bulls. Mavs have cut it to 2. Wide open. Scott Burrell launches the 3, and he buries it.
Burrell's a good 3-point shooter.
38% on the year for the former Major League Baseball player.
That's why they picked him up to do just that.
Bradley working on Burrell. Count it. Now Sean Bradley, who's missed the last 3 games because of that groin contusion, gets his first 2. At the buzzer, Pippen lets it fly, and he'll nick the rim. Good first quarter. Cedric Ceballos checks in with 6. Finley with 12, and the Mavericks head to quarter number 2, down by 6.
One Bull. It is a reunion at reunion. Michael Finley got a chance to meet Michael Jordan when Michael Finley was a senior at Proviso East High School in Chicago back in 1991. There's Michael Finley looking young and long-haired, and he had a chance to go one-on-one against his hero at that time, Michael Jordan. Yeah, he did some jamming, and he even scored some points in a game of one-on-one with Michael. Michael won the game, but Michael said afterwards, Michael Jordan said afterwards, hey, Michael Finley, maybe I'll see you in about 5 years. Well, he has seen him in the NBA in about 5 years, and in fact, he has awarded Michael Finley a high honor. Michael Finley, one of only 5 players who wears Michael Jordan's shoes and his line of clothing. Michael Finley in hot company with Michael Jordan. Back to you guys.
Thank you, John. Our first plus stat. You can see the numbers on Finley. 12 points already here as we head to quarter number 2. Along with Bob Ortigal, I'm Ron Thulin.
Steve Kerr's in the ballgame now, and at all costs, you must contain Kerr when you play against the Bulls. When he comes off the bench, you better contain him.
Bill Wennington, former Dallas Maverick, on Sean Bradley. Bradley can't get it. Rodman with a rebound. Bill Wennington, originally drafted by Dallas in the first round of '85, spent 5 years here with the Mavericks.
Very unusual that Phil Jackson substitutes like this. He's got Pippen and Jordan out of the ballgame at the same time.
Usually doesn't happen. In the last few years, one of those have always stayed on the court, usually Pippen. Harper with 3, better look up. He's not going to get it off, and he doesn't. 24-second violation, another turnover for the Bulls. It will go the other way, and Phil Jackson can only look.
He tilts that head to the side like, what in the world are you doing, Ron Harper? Actually, he lost the ball on the dribble, and then he went to recover it, and he lost it again.
Needed a fork. So far, the Bulls with 16 rebounds. Dennis with 5. Strickland the pull-up.
Excellent move. Good look. Good shot. Let me point out that the Mavericks are getting good shots against the Bulls, but you have to make those shots. They're not going to give you many second chance opportunities. They're the best in the league at rebounding the ball.
Now Bill Wennington got an early birthday present, and he takes advantage of it. Wennington, playing in only his 35th game this year, has upped the Bulls lead to 8, 32-24, 10:35 to play here in the first half. Reeves will come back into the ball game for Dallas. Bradley working around to CEBALLOS. Perimeter game now for the Mavericks. Finley on Burrell. The fall away. A la Michael. Rodman with his 7th rebound, and Kerr will lead the break.
Good effort by CEBALLOS going to the offensive board that time.
Harper, nice pump fake, short arms it. CEBALLOS gives it up to Strickland. Davis on the left. Hubert will let it fly. Buries it.
Good shooter. Hubert Davis is a good shooter. You get him looks like that, and he will shoot over 50%. He's a 42% career three-point shooter.
Well, he had his problems against the Rockets. 0 for 7 shooting the basketball, but the Maestro gets 2 tonight. And the lead is 6. Kerr, that's the shot. You've got to watch Steve Kerr. Don't be fooled by the choir boy look.
You cannot allow him to get shots like that. That's why you have to contain Kerr.
Steve Kerr in his 10th year out of Arizona. CEBALLOS rebounded by Finley. The quick putback. He is also short. Burrell outlets it to Harper. Harper working on Davis. Just backs his way in. Sean had the rebound and lost it. Took a finger, I think, in the eye.
I'm not sure Harper can get his hand up that high.
I didn't think he could. Reeves will come in. Strickland will sit down.
It's Harper with a shot off the board. Does not get it to go. Bradley with a rebound. Harper deflects it. Khalid Reeves back in the ball game now. Last time down, once again, the Mavericks had a couple of good shots. The Mavericks 1 out of 6. That's what I'm making reference to. You've got to make shots.
Chicago does just a good job taking away the angles. Your passing angles, they deny passes, they switch on everything. That's why you can't depend on your half-court game.
That's why they're such a better team defense of a club than they are individual.
Number 4 as far as opposition scoring go this year for the Bulls. Number 3, opposition's field goal percentage.
That's not to say they're not good individual defenders. They are, but they're excellent team defense.
Kerr throws up the prayer and nicks the rim. Offensive rebound. Rodman had it and lost it. Here comes CEBALLOS. The alley-oop to Finley. Takes it away from Burrell. Reeves. Hubert Davis. Yes.
Nice ball movement by Dallas that time. Once again, good offensive pressure. Mavericks continuing to hang around.
And Phil Jackson's going to take a timeout. Steve Kerr looked like he got one upside of the head. They're going to Chip Schaefer, the trainer's going to take a look at him. 34-28 is our second quarter score.
Harper has yet to give the ball up. And when he gets it, he will quickly give the ball up. And when he does, the Mavericks rotate the ball and end up with a good shot. Rotation, Finley, Reeves, Hubert Davis in the corner. The defense is not there. The result, an open look and a basket.
And you have to take advantage of every opportunity the Bulls give you to score, because you may not score a whole lot of points. Michael back into the ball game. 2 North Carolina guys, Davis and Jordan.
That's good defense. That is very good defense by the Mavericks against Jordan that time.
1 to shoot, and again the Mavericks would have forced the 30-second violation, and it's going to be the Dallas Mavericks ball. That's the second one tonight.
Don Nelson's question is, why do we get the shot clock violation when we're in transition going the other way? with numbers and an advantage. Turnovers, 5 for the Bulls, 2 for the Mavericks.
Bulls only turned it over about 15 times a game. Neither team coughs it up a whole lot. Dallas, one of the better teams, at only 14 turnovers a contest. Rodman on the switch, now with Reeves. Bradley being guarded by KUKOC. The sky hook. Dennis goes high for the rebound, number 7.
Great job of going to the basket once the shot goes up. That's what Rodman did. That's why he gets so many rebounds.
Kerr, tough shot over the outstretched hands of Bradley. Bradley tries to keep it alive. Here comes CEBALLOS. Good defense by the Mavericks.
CEBALLOS looks a little tired.
A lot of energy you have to put out when you play the Chicago Bulls.
Well, you must match their energy. If you're going to beat them, the thing you have to do is match it. You will put a lot out, but they put a lot out, so you have to match it.
Burrell on the switch now with Reeves. Reeves slices through the defense for the left-handed 2.
Reeves keeps the dribble alive. I'm not sure that there are a lot of people that can handle him going to the basket. He's very effective at doing that.
7 of the last 9 games, the Bulls have scored over the century mark.
That's too good a look for him.
Oh, you called it, didn't you?
You cannot allow Kerr to come off the bench and shoot jump shots. You'll lose. But he does a good job getting open. That's the problem.
Well, Steve Kerr broke his collarbone. Didn't play 22 games because of that injury. Just recently he got off the injured list. The 1st of March. Whistle and a foul.
A late whistle.
I think they're going to call it Scott Burrell. That'll be his first team foul, including the first quarter.
CEBALLOS gets down inside. Burrell comes over. He did hit him on the arm. The whistle was just late, the point at which that took place. The whistle didn't blow. But they still got it right, and that's the main thing.
Cedric CEBALLOS will have a couple. 77% free throw shooter on the year. Has 6 this evening. Boy, since he's been a start of these last 6 games, he's averaged just about 20 points and 7 rebounds while shooting 48%. Those are some pretty good numbers.
Yeah, he's made a big difference in the Mavericks offense. He's made a big difference in this team. He seems to have had a positive effect on chemistry. I mentioned earlier that he was tired. He was just short on 2 free throws. That's an obvious indicator of being tired.
Good call. Kerr trying to work off the pick by Rodman, sees the double, ball loose again. The Mavericks force a turnover. And Sean Bradley comes up limping just a little bit. KUKOC covering up Hubert Davis. Baseline, no place to go. Finley loses it. Davis wide open look, and he makes him pay.
That's the Dallas Maverick answer to the Chicago Bulls, Steve Kerr. Hubert Davis. You give him open looks, he'll hit the jump shot, and he'll hit it all night long.
And the Mavericks have cut the lead back to 4, continuing to hang around the Chicago Bulls. Weddington taking the sweats off. Strickland for the Mavericks. Kerr, wide open Tony KUKOC, and he is an excellent spot-up shooter.
Nice pass back to him behind his back by Steve Kerr. The Bulls get that 4 to 6 to 8 point lead, and they maintain it. You answer, and they are able to maintain. They're that good.
It's going to be a traveling call. Carrying the ball, says Dick Pavetta, will go the other way. Eric Strickland will come in for Dallas. Weddington for the Bulls. And Dennis Rodman's going to go out. And Weddington had to tell Dennis that he's coming in for him. And he said, hey, I'm here for you. He didn't want to say get out. I mean, you know, you don't tell Dennis leave, I guess. That was funny because he had this little smile on his face like, oh, geez, I got to tell Dennis he's leaving. And Phil Jackson giving Dennis the riot act as he walks down to the end of the bench. Phil was none too pleased with the effort by Dennis Rodman, the Dallas product. KUKOC working on Finley, has the height advantage, and we have a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Michael. That'll be his first personal.
Don Nelson taking CEBALLOS out of the ball game. CEBALLOS needs a bit of a rest. He's played hard. He's played well. Finley's a defender. He commits the foul. KUKOC, the big guy at the line.
In his 5th year from Croatia. 2nd round pick back in 1990, 29th overall. And there was so much hoopla when Jerry Krause drafted him, calling him the next Michael Jordan. They put so many expectations on him, and it really alienated a lot of the Bulls.
Boy, Jordan was in on the offensive board. Did you see the move? When KUKOC released the ball, Jordan was there. Had KUKOC missed it, Jordan would have had a dunk.
Well, Jordan came down smiling at Khalid Reeves. Jordan lit up Vashawn Leonard from Miami. Talked to him the whole game and just lit him up on Tuesday. The 3 won't go by Finley. Here comes Kerr. Mavericks get back on transition. Kukoc, nice touch pass. Burrell double pumps and got it.
Good ball fake by Burrell. He got Bradley up in the air and waited a little bit. Good timing.
I think Sean may have gotten his hand in the net a little bit and got it hung up. Hubert Davis around Kerr. Has it poked away. Michael on Finley like they did in high school.
How about the defensive play, though? He made a defensive play that was just tremendous. And then reached out and controlled the ball.
An 11-point advantage now for Chicago. Finley tries to go baseline. Michael, no match for Michael Finley, or Burrell, I should say. Finley now with 14 in the ball game. Quickly, Burrell down the other end. Michael working on Davis. The switch, Finley. Michael over Finley. Wennington tips it to Kerr. Fresh 24 for the Bulls.
Wennington knew right where Kerr was. Great court awareness. He didn't have to grab it. He just tipped it right to him.
Kukoc, what a great spin move. Can't finish it up. Bradley can't get the rebound, but the Mavericks will have it. AC Green will come back into the lineup. You hit a great point there, Bob, saying just the teamwork that they had on that pass. When you talk to any of the Bulls players, as we look at Tony Kukoc's move, whatever problems they have off the court, they forget it when they get within the 94 by 50. And these guys truly are a team in the true sense of the word.
It may be as fine a basketball team as this league's ever seen. There are people that will debate that, but they have 5 world championships. Obviously, they're going to be competing to win a 6th, and they may be as good as there's ever been.
Basket won't go. Reeves had a step on Kukoc. Kukoc whistled for the foul. That'll be his second team foul.
They have pieces to the puzzle that are so, very good. They fit together. Reeves to the middle. When you talk about having the best player that's ever played, in Jordan certainly, but they have another player in Pippen who is just an outstanding player, one of the great players of all time. But then they have the best rebounder. They have a guy that says, okay, I'll rebound the ball. That's what you want me to do. I won't worry about anything else. And Rodman does that. They complement it by bringing Kerr off the bench, who can shoot the ball with anybody in the league.
1 of 2 for Khalid. He already has 3 assists to go along with his 3 points.
This guy's a huge plus. Kukoc, who had the ball, and it's a great blend of talent. And then Jackson and his staff have done a good job.
One thing Phil has done is he handles the distractions that this team must go through every week. Khalid can't keep it alive.
Well, he tried to stay off the out-of-bounds line.
He did. 2:57 left to play in the half. The Mavericks trail by 9. 2:57 left to play in the first half, and you can see the rebounding this quarter. The Bulls +9 over the Mavericks. This is a crucial time for the Mavericks, is it not?
Yeah, the last 2 minutes and 57 seconds of this first half, the Mavericks must try to cut into this 9-point lead. Certainly not allow Chicago. They just took a 20. Did they not use their 20?
Exactly. They don't have a 20.
So now it's a full, and Phil Jackson is unhappy about that.
That's almost a college play. Not to demean the college ranks, but still, when you come out of a timeout, coaches are infuriated when you don't get something out of that timeout.
That's a 45-second timeout because it follows that last one. And that is the rule, but that's really a bad call there. Bulls made a mistake on that one, but we're still at 2:57. Ball out of bounds. Kukoc, pretty good job shutting down the inbounds pass. And Kukoc, you see him put his hand up on his shoulder and take the 20-second timeout, but they didn't have a 20 because that timeout follows one that had just been taken.
That's right. It
becomes a 45-second timeout. So they lose all the way around on that one. But this last 2:57, I'm back to that again, is really important to the Mavericks. If they could take a little bit of momentum to the locker room, they need to stay in it. Chicago at times in that last 2.5 minutes, they will really try to blitz you defensively to see if they can't take complete control of the ball game. They go right to Jordan out of bounds.
Kerr up top to Michael. Michael could be one of, if not the best post-up player in the NBA. Not posting up now. Kukoc from the outside. AC Green had it. Michael knocked it out, but it'll be the Mavericks ball.
Good position, good rebounding position by AC Green.
9-point advantage for the Bulls. 43-34. 2:44 left to play in the first half. Bulls have won 4 straight.
A basket here would really look good for Dallas right now. Maybe supply some impetus to have a strong finish here in the first half. They go 1-4, baseline 1-4, and that's what they were looking for right there.
And they got it. AC Green with his first 2 of the ball game.
On the baseline 1-4, Khalid Reeves operates with a dribble to try and beat his man, and it's a draw and kick situation. If he can draw a defender, he kicks the ball to the open man. Precisely what happened.
Jordan tries to do the backdoor cut. Hubert Davis cuts him off.
Very good defense by Davis.
This time Hubert drops off to cover Kerr and leaves Michael wide open, and Michael now with 9 in the ball game.
See, Jordan made a heck of a fake. That's what loosened the defense and gave him room for the shot.
25 games this year, Michael Jordan has been over 30 points. His percentages aren't as good as in years past, not shooting as many threes, but he still can get it done. Davis from the outside. KUKOC will get the rebound. Khalid Reeves tried to get a hand on it. Jordan now 4 of 9 shooting the basketball after starting out 1 for 4. So he is 3 for his last 5. Michael Finley will come back into the lineup along with Dennis Rodman.
You don't want him to build on that 9-point lead.
Pippen tries to get it to Michael. 4 to shoot. Michael the fall away. The patented Jordan shot rebounded by Strickland, and the Mavericks look to push it. Strickland around Jordan. Green baseline jumper, and AC's got 2 in a row.
Offensive pressure once again. The Mavericks continue to force the Bulls to get back defensively.
7-point advantage now. The Mavericks have cut into the lead inside of a minute to play. Michael the pull-up gives it up to Pippen. To Kerr. Nice ball movement. Steve Kerr for 3.
You see how big he's been off of the bench now. That's 3 baskets, 2 twos, and a 3.
Well, the second lowest 3-point percentage of his career. At one time, he was the NBA's leader in that category. AC from outside, and 3 in a row for AC Green.
3 quick jump shots.
And the lead is 8. Wennington tries to force the pass inside. It'll belong to the Bulls as Dennis Rodman will come back in along with Michael Finley, and Judd Bushler will check in for the first time, the 8th-year pro out of Arizona, a teammate of Steve Kerr in college. Reeves sits down along with Wennington and KUKOC.
Watch Chicago set good picks on this out-of-bounds play. Pippen will trigger it, a very good passer. It's a triangle down low.
Kerr wide open, the 3 again, a little bit short. Dennis fights for the rebound and keeps AC Green off the boards.
What a rebounder he is.
Relentless. 10 rebounds now for Dennis Rodman. Averaging 15 a game. Shot clock turned off. Pippen will just hold it. Now he looks to move on CEBALLOS. Jordan trying to post on Hubert Davis. The 3 doesn't hit anything. And it'll be the Mavericks ball with .7. Hubert Davis took a forearm from Michael Jordan right in the face. Scottie Pippen intercepts the pass, but won't be able to get the shot off. Good quarter for the Dallas Mavericks, a good half. They trail 48-40 thanks to 14 by Michael Finley. We'll step aside. Halftime activity straight ahead.
Personal fouls in the first half. The Mavericks had 3, the Bulls had 2, but rebounding is the difference. The Bulls with a big edge there. That has happened to the Mavericks before, and it's happening again. And 1/3 of Chicago's rebounds are offensive rebounds. 3-point shooting. We saw Pat Riley do this to the Mavericks, and Phil Jackson is doing it too. The Mavericks are a pretty good three-point shooting team. The Bulls are taking that away. They are closing out on 3-point shooters, forcing the ball into the 2-point area, but not giving up open looks on 3s.
Well, Michael Finley leads the way for the Mavericks with 14 points. He took 1/3 of the shots, and he's made just over 1/3 of the points.
I think the guy that really hurt the Mavericks in the first half was Steve Kerr off of the bench.
Exactly. Kerr checking in with 7 points in quarter number 2, and we are underway here in the third. Mavericks begin the third in an 8-point hole, and it stays at as Dennis Rodman pulls down the rebound. That is number 11 now for Rodman. Closing in on his league-leading 15. 6 straight times Dennis Rodman has led the league in rebounding, about to make it number 7.
Well, he makes it number 7. Jordan makes it number 10, leading the league in scoring.
That's right. And Harper beginning the way he started the game, just backing down. Harper with 4 in the first and in the first half.
Well, Harper's a very good post-up player. I mean, they could do that with him a lot, but they don't have to.
Reeves splits the defense. Rodman got a piece of it. AC just overran the rebound. Rodman tries to keep it alive. AC's got it. Strickland right inside. Finley is fouled. Dennis had the pass right into his hands.
Foul by Ron Harper.
Ron Harper will pick up the infraction. That'll be his first.
Strickland made a heck of a pass down low. You see Strickland with the ball right there. He gets it by KUKOC. Michael Finley finally ends up with a basketball. Finley was moving to his right when that pass went to his left, but it all ended up well for Dallas. Ouch.
Mavericks still have not scored from the charity stripe. Michael Finley, number 1 in the NBA in minutes played, number 11 in scoring. In the last 24 games, 21 games or so, he has just accelerated his game. That has been fun to watch. 15 now for Michael Finley, who's averaging just over 21 a game, and the lead is 9. 60 seconds gone by here in the third. Jordan working, set up the triangle on the right side. Finley leaning on him. Jordan trying to get free. Strickland may have tipped it. Strickland now on MJ. The fadeaway turnaround patented Michael Jordan.
He had to shoot it right by the corner of the board because he was down on the baseline.
Michael has absolutely perfected that move where he falls away and the leg comes kicking up.
See, there's the defense. Jordan against Finley forces a turnover. The perimeter defense with Pippen, Jordan, and Harper is second to none.
Strickland commits the foul. That'll be his first team foul. As Hubert Davis will quickly come in. Khalid Reeves will sit down for the Mavericks. Hey, you talk about Michael Jordan. I think people forget that he's such a great defender. He came into this game with 99 steals. He's going to be over 100 steals again this year.
Jordan goes over and talks to Michael Finley. He's talking to him right now. He took the ball away from Finley and caused some trouble. Harper comes over and talks to him. They're buddies. They're good friends, all three of those guys.
I think Michael has so much respect for a young man like Michael Finley, who works on his game, and of course the 2 North Carolina products talking it over.
The other thing is that Jordan does a little bit of that like he's doing with Davis right now. And he gets inside your head just a little bit. He gets you thinking something other than what you're supposed to be doing, and affects your concentration and lessens your intensity a bit. Not only a good player and a good guy, Michael Jordan's a smart man.
Oh, very smart. And you know, if you don't be tough with him, if you show weakness, Michael's just going to run you right off.
That's a nice job by CEBALLOS, getting all the way to the iron once again.
Now CEBALLOS now with 8 in the ball game. Jordan looks up, no place to go. Strickland will shadow him.
Mavericks need a mini run, but they've got to get some stops.
Michael, tough turnaround shot. He buries it. We have a foul. My goodness.
He made a good one. It's that spin move he likes to make on the baseline. He'll start inside. He's coming right back at you.
Well, that began with Michael Jordan kind of hiding behind Dennis Rodman. Then he popped out to the corner, and Michael will be at the line to shoot free throws. Michael, the number 3 all-time scorer in NBA history, number 3 all-time NBA steals.
Imagine where he'd be if he hadn't missed 2 years.
Oh, you think about that. Strickland, the little flick shot, air ball, rebounded by Harper.
Mavericks need to be careful right now. Chicago's beginning to separate themselves from the Mavericks.
You know, Michael misses that time playing baseball. The injuries. If not, he would have been way ahead of Wilt Chamberlain at this point for number 2 as Harper buries the jumper.
Good call by Don Nelson. It's time for the timeout. No question about that.
Mavericks only 3 second-half points so far, and the lead is up to 15. Shootout. That'll be Friday, March 27th, when the Utah Jazz come to town. You'll have an opportunity to win a 1998 Sunfire SE Coupe. Fans will be chosen at random. Sponsored by your North Texas Pontiac dealers, and someone will walk out of Reunion Arena with a new car that night.
How'd you like to come to that game in your old pickup and go home in a brand new car? That's a good reason to come to the game. You got a chance.
That's styling. Bulls haven't missed a shot in this quarter. Strickland on top to Finley. Harper covers him up. 9 to shoot for the Mavericks. Finley, nice pump fake, lost the handle. Davis with 4 to shoot. Strickland with 2 to shoot. Finley at the buzzer, and he parries it.
And Phil Jackson really wanted that stop. Remember that basket. That may be very big and allowing the Mavericks to hang around, and they're not doing that right now. They're down 13, but a basket like that sometimes can really trigger a little bit of momentum.
That's an all-star quality shot. CEBALLOS with a rebound. Michael was being held by Strickland. Finley counted, and the foul.
That's a great look by Cedric Ceballos. That's that same connection once again. Ceballos looking down the floor. Nicely done by Ceballos. Finley with a catch and the finish.
Not a smart foul by Harper.
Those two guys are really working well together.
Pippen takes it away from Finley. The Bulls 22-5 since Scottie Pippen got back into the lineup, and Michael Jordan slams it home to the delight of the crowd.
You had a real good look at a rip dribble that time. Scottie Pippen with the rebound. He rips it off and then dribbles it right on out. He will do that about as well as any forward in the league.
Nice job. Harper keeps it alive. KUKOC running the floor. Pippen was going to take it himself. The finger roll. The KUKOC whistle and a foul.
Defensive transition now in the last 2 possessions has been a problem, and Don Nelson's not happy about that. He's standing there with his arms folded.
Walking down the bench, and Chris Anstey, the rookie from Australia who has played so well as of late, will check into the lineup for the first time this evening.
He has been doing a good job, and Anstey did not get in the ballgame in the first half, but he does run the floor well. The Mavericks just plain and simply go big right now because Anstey comes in the game for Strickland.
Mavericks only 1 of 7 from the line.
And that's because Chicago, conscious of the fact that the Mavericks shoot 3. Look at, there's Jordan again. Somebody's got to bump him.
Well, Tony KUKOC now with 13 in the last 10 games as a starter. He's averaged 13 points and 5 assists. KUKOC, who was hurt so much of last year, never really got into the rhythm. Hubert Davis rolls it around. Dennis Rodman with a rebound. That is 12 for Dennis. Jordan wanted it and finally got it. Rodman, Anstey on him. Ceballos takes it away. Rodman never saw it coming. Tried to get a little too fancy. Said doesn't know where it is. Anstey almost came up with a steal. Pippen to the hole, uncontested with a right hand.
Great explosion by Pippen once he saw the open. He just really accelerated and got all the way to the glass.
Scottie in his 11th year out of Central Arkansas was drafted in the first round by Seattle. Talk about a bad deal for the Sonics as Finley rolls it around. Finley now with 7.
He got 21 points for the ball game. Michael Finley does, with a long way to go. He's having a big night.
Chicago traded the draft rights to Olden Colonies for that man right there. Rodman, the putback, can't get it to go after his 13th rebound. The outlet to Davis. Mavs down by 14. 6.5 to play here in the third.
Rodman has 13 rebounds. The ball, that's careless. That's just careless there.
Good call. Harper will take it himself. AC Green strips him, and it's going to belong to the Mavericks. No foul. Harper had it hit off his leg. Referee Leroy Richardson said, it's the guys in white. Well, some of the fans even booing. Davis dumps it off Ceballos. Pippen on him. To Anstey, to the hole, and he is going to go to the line. Still that show. Chris Anstey's not afraid to take it in there with a little gumption.
Anstey will do this. He's aggressive. A good slash cutter to the basket when the double team occurred on Ceballos, which is what you should do. Second look at it, double team on Ceballos. Anstey goes to the bucket and calls for the ball. It's good execution.
Mavericks continuing their problems from the free throw line.
That's too bad that Luke Longley couldn't have played in this ball game, because it would have been one mate against another.
That's right. 2 Aussies starting. Luke Longley, the first Australian ever to play in the NBA in street clothes. The pride of New Mexico. Mavs now 1 of 9 from the stripe. They are struggling. Anstey has 5 straight games in which he scored double figures. Does not have any points tonight. KUKOC for 2 off the back of the iron. Green just strips it from Dennis Rodman. That's going to be a loose ball foul on 91.
Loose ball down.
That'll be Dennis's, believe it or not, first. I don't think I've ever said that in the third quarter.
He's that deep into the game, as physical as Rodman is, as much as he pushes underneath and works hard. He has only 1 foul, but I will say this, the guy's work ethic in terms of going to the board when the shot goes up, his ability to read shots and know the tendencies of his teammates as it relates to their shots and their rebounds is just, it's, you know, unmatched.
Now Burrell comes in, KUKOC comes out, Harper working on Finley. 8 to shoot. Michael jump stop, hangs in the air, and he parries it.
You said Michael. It was hard to tell which one you were talking about there. That was Michael Finley. What a move. That was a Jordan-esque type move without a doubt.
9 in the quarter, 23 in the game for Finley, who's putting on a clinic. Rodman keeps it alive, but Finley's there to take it out of his back pocket. Burrell quickly covers him up, swinging across to Hubert. Davis to AC, no place to go. AC will put up that prayer, won't be answered. Dennis, nice pass to AC, who takes advantage. Give Rodman an assist.
Green initially was trying to draw a foul. That didn't work, but he got the ball back on a good effort.
Well, the Mavericks struggled early, but they've trimmed the lead down to 10.
Phil, there's no question. And speaking of new shoes and tough shoes to fill, you've got a new coach and some new systems going on at Valley Ranch. How's that new playbook treating you?
Well, it's entirely different from what we've done, and we're looking forward to it, something new, and it should be an exciting year.
All right, Troy, enjoy the game. We appreciate it. Back to you guys.
All right, the former Henrietta head, Troy Aikman. Michael elevates over the outstretched hands of Anstey. Burrell comes up with the offensive rebound, a fresh 24. They waste little time. Finley and Green. Green comes down with it. The Bulls hit their first 5 of their first 6 shots in the quarter, are now 1 for their last 9.
And the good news is Mavericks with the ball down 10, got a chance to go to single digits.
Sad little up and under move. Rodman covers him up. Whistle and a foul, says Dick Pavetta.
You notice how long CEBALLOS hangs onto the ball on that move. He sees Rodman coming. He does not release. Watch how long he hangs on the ball. He's on his way down before he makes sure the contact takes place first. Then he gets it up on the glass.
And Seth will be at the line. 0 for 2 this evening from the stripe. Mavericks are just struggling. And you know, Rick Barry had the great line saying when you're shooting free throws, you can be selfish and help your team.
1 out of 10 from the line.
You might be able to pull that off against Denver's, but you can't do that against the Bulls.
Mavericks are 1 out of 11 from the line, and they're down 10 points.
Steve Kerr back into the game for the Bulls. Hubert Davis picks him up.
Post up with Jordan inside. They're trying. Look at Jordan hold Anstey.
Just grabbed him. Bear hugged him. Pippen gives it up. Burrell, whistle and a foul. That's going to be on the drive on Chris Anstey.
That's an area where Anstey must show improvement. Out on the floor, on the ball defense. He's becoming a pretty good off the ball defender, but on the ball, out on the floor, that lateral movement creates problems for him.
Mavs on a 6-0 run. Bulls trying to put an end to that. Burrell will launch it from the arc.
Got to get that back.
Rodman kept it alive, but it'll be Chicago's ball. Rodman, what he did on that play, it looked like he just used his back just to push Finley out of the way a little bit. Didn't use his arms, but used his backside.
Well, he's real clever. He's not only a good rebounder, or the best rebounder, he's smart. Anstey pushes Rodman pretty good right there, but Anstey will do that. And
now Rodman shoves Anstey down. Rodman keeps it alive. CEBALLOS comes up with it.
Nice
to Finley. Has Anstey. Ellie. Oh, no. Rodman kicked it. It should belong to the Mavericks. And it will. What action end to end.
It wasn't a really good pass by Michael Finley. It was a great idea, but he didn't give him a real good pass to work with. It was just a little bit behind Anstey. Anstey was a little bit ahead of that, but a great idea. And that's the kind, you have to try plays like that.
It looks like he almost jumped off his wrong foot, too. Rebounds, you can see the Mavericks down 15 as Scottie Pippen commits his first personal foul.
Well, if you take Rodman out of the picture rebounding-wise, the complexion of the game changes, but you can't do that. Rodman's got 15 boards. The Mavericks have 26, but the Bulls have 41.
The Bulls #1 in point differential in the NBA, just under 7, as Chris Anstey will go to the line for a couple. And he is now 1 of 3, his first points this evening, and gets a little round of applause from the crowd.
Mavericks make those free throws. You can't go back and get them, but this thing would look a little different right now. It'd be real interesting.
Now the lead is 8 for the Bulls, and they have the basketball, closing in on 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
And it's interesting anyway.
Oh, it's very interesting so far. Michael, 9 points in the first half, 6 here in the second. He got those very quickly, but he has been quiet. The double by Davis.
They're forcing the ball out of Jordan's hands. That's good strategy.
Burrell tries to dish it inside. Rodman can't get it. Keeps it alive. Chris Anstey tips it to Hubert Davis.
Anstey battling on the boards, didn't get it, but his teammate did because of Anstey's effort.
Well, we saw that in Washington. He didn't necessarily get the ball, but what he does is he stays in there and battles for it. Now Green and Rodman doing a little Texas two-step. Hubert misses badly. CEBALLOS with a reverse.
There you are. You got a 6-point ball game against the Bulls. You're at home with the largest crowd to ever see a sporting event in your arena. You got a chance. At least right now you got a chance.
Now Rodman pushing and shoving anybody that gets near him, and Chris Anstey will be whistled for the foul.
His second 15 foul. Chicago has the penalty for the rest of the period.
After the second free throw, finally. Yes.
Chris Anstey made a free throw, and Nelly wipes his brow and says, thank heaven.
Now Michael's going to sit down as Tony KUKOC comes back into the lineup for the Bulls.
Nelson just looked right at Chris Anstey.
And the Bulls are always fun to watch.
Well, and I actually do make down for quite a few games. I think it's just great to see the arena packed for a change. And it's funny because once the fans come out, they all come out to see Michael, but then all of a sudden they're into Michael Finley and the Mavericks as well, and that's good to see.
That's great, Babe. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Okay, back to you guys.
I really enjoyed the movie Babe. Finley in the paint, a fall away, no basket. Side out for the Dallas Mavericks.
I'll tell you, the basket that Chicago got to start the fourth period was just absolutely too easy. KUKOC operating one-on-one against Anstey. Once again caught out on the floor. Anstey defending the ball. KUKOC went all the way to the bucket and scored. Now watch, Chicago builds a lot of their philosophy around what they do defensively to start the fourth period. They really try to put people away at this point in the ball game. Very aggressive defensively. You're seeing it right now.
Strickland launches it, won't get it. Rebound, Finley. Ball away over Michael. KUKOC will come up. The Bulls are 40-5 when they lead after 3. That shows you their killer instinct.
Jordan with very good defense against the shot that Finley just had. The Bulls are also 24-1 when scoring 100 or more points.
They may not get that tonight. KUKOC backs in on Anstey. That was way too easy.
The man from Croatia is schooling the man from Australia just a little bit.
Well, you know what he did there was a great veteran move. He felt what elbow was up by Chris Anstey, and he just moved away from him. When it's easy to roll.
When you can feel your defender, it tells you where you need to go.
CEBALLOS on Buechler. Into the hands of Harper. Strickland just took his eyes off the pass. Mavericks trail by 15. 1.5 gone by here in quarter number 4.
Jordan wants the ball.
Jordan back on top to Kerr, showing some great patience. Harper. Strickland on him with 7 to shoot. Backing in. Leans into him, doesn't get it. Michael is there for the putback. Whistle and foul. That'll be on Michael Finley. His second. That Khalid Reeves will come into the lineup, and Chris Anstey, because of that defensive mistake, will sit down.
Shot by Harper. Michael Finley over the back of Michael Jordan. Jordan has 15 points in the ball game. Michael Finley has 24 points in the ball game.
Michael has not missed a game in 5 years. And even though they said no flashes, the flash bulbs are popping here at Reunion Arena.
Does that 5 years include baseball? Or?
Yeah, really. Does not include baseball. Michael gets the second. Couple of scores to pass on. Nuggets leading the Grizzlies. Oh, my goodness. It'll be a national holiday in Denver tomorrow. 16-point advantage for the Bulls. Reeves on Harper, no place to go. Strickland trying to shake loose a Kerr with 8 to shoot. Strickland a couple of pump fakes. Said CEBALLOS just took his eyes off the basketball.
He tried to make the move. A little bit of anxiety there. CEBALLOS got the ball, wanted to make the move before he really had control of the basketball.
Michael Jordan, who's averaged 29 points a game here at Reunion Arena. 16 this evening. KUKOC another rebound for the Bulls, and a whistle and a foul on the inside, and that'll go against the Mavericks.
Foul by Khalid Reeves.
That'll be on Reeves.
His third.
Number 3 on Khalid Reeves.
Don Nelson talking to Reeves, and it's rather obvious he's plain and simply trying to talk to him about something that he thinks Reeves understands.
And the Bulls will have another shot at it. KUKOC wheels on CEBALLOS, whistle, and that'll be a push on Cedric CEBALLOS.
Foul by Cedric CEBALLOS.
That'll be his second personal foul.
His second and 13th foul.
You talk so much about Jordan and Pippen and Rodman, you just don't find enough time to talk about Tony KUKOC, who's a real compliment to this club. Inside, outside, passes it well.
From the outside, Kerr's 3 won't go. KUKOC keeps it alive. Touch pass. Harper double pump, whistle, and foul. That gets AC Green up off the bench quickly as Strickland picks up the foul. That is his third. And AC Green will come in, and let's see who goes out. It'll be Hubert Davis. So Don Nelson going a little bit bigger right now.
And if you look up at that scoreboard and reflect back on the comment about fourth period defense, Chicago has really tightened the screws down a little bit and trying to take away any opportunity for any momentum. They just do not want to give their opponent, doesn't matter whether it's the Mavericks or somebody else. It was Miami the other night. It was New York at Madison Square Garden in the fourth period. That's when they like to deliver the knockout punch, and they do not do it with their offense. They do it with their team defense.
Well, you think about what they do against teams under 500. They beat the teams they're supposed to. They're 21-3 versus teams without a winning record, and another offensive rebound. Jordan pass inside to Harper to Kerr. Great ball movement. Bushler, Mr. All-Around for the Bulls. Phil Jackson loves him. He can sit for 3 or 4 games, not play a minute, come in and do the job. Michael to the hole. Too easy.
And we have talked many times about the importance of maintaining your intensity from beginning to end. Good job by Reeves there. And that's where the Bulls try to break you down.
Yep.
They are good, folks. They are real good.
And it's scary when you talk to the Steve Kerrs and the guys on the team telling me before the games, listen, we're starting to play on all cylinders now. And this is the time of year, every year, that Chicago really kicks it in. Yes, they will not win 69 games that they did last year, but they can win 60, which will be quite a feat considering Pippen's absence. Another offensive rebound. KUKOC has it rejected. Here comes Finley. Mavs down by 17, 8 minutes to play. Michael, the fall away, yes.
Finley, a competitor. He stays after it.
26 for Finley. Anstey and Dickie Simpkins set to come into the lineup the next break. Now the Mavs pushing the Bulls offense way out front.
Phil Jackson would like to rest some of his starters if he could. They go on to San Antonio.
35,000 expected Saturday night in the Alamo Dome. That game's been sold out since the beginning of the year. KUKOC backs in. The fall away as the shot clock goes. No. The third 24-second violation against the Bulls this evening. Phil Jackson will not like that as Chris Anstey comes back in along with Dickie Simpkins.
When you're this deep into the season and you go over the stats before a game like this and you look for strengths and weaknesses statistically that each team might have, the Chicago Bulls come in leading the NBA in rebounding, and then you look up on the board and it's 52-34.
Michael Finley, I think the Bulls were surprised that he elevated that quickly.
Yeah, Finley's a player. Finley's an all-star. That's what he is. He's an all-star type player.
And the Mavs on a 6-0 run, trying to trim into this lead. They've won 3 of their last 6, Dallas. Those 6 losses have been by an average of 6 points a game, so they have been in games. Here comes Strickland. 21 offensive rebounds for the Bulls, though, have really hurt the Mavericks this evening.
Plenty of time for the Mavericks to make it interesting.
You need good shots. Nancy walked with it. He had the nice pump fake. Bushler bit, but Chris just didn't take advantage of it. We'll have a timeout. 6:53 left to play in the game. Mavericks down by a Baker dozen.
Back, and when you have a lead and you keep getting the ball back, the shot clock starts all over. You get a new 24. What happens when you're trying to catch up? You just don't have enough time. You know, your enemy becomes the clock as well as the score.
Finley, Green, Anstey, Reeves, and Strickland for the Mavericks. Bushler, Pippen, Kerr, Simpkins, and Jordan for the Bulls.
Phil Jackson comes back with Pippen and Jordan now late in the ball game, and he's got the three-point shooter in there, and in Kerr. Rodman has been dominant on the board, and he sits down right now.
Pippen working off a pick. Simpkins wide open underneath. Nobody sees him. Michael backing in, sees the double. Pippen left alone for the three, buries it. His second of the evening for Scottie Pippen, who's shooting more threes. He's just about doubled his attempt average over his career. Phil Jackson just has to laugh on that one. Is Bushler and Anstey tying it up inside. Bushler's first personal.
Pippen showed such great poise on that three-point shot that he made. He just didn't get in a hurry at all. He knew he had time.
Spurs lead the Kings in the fourth by 5. Another low-scoring game for San Antonio. Finley from the outside clanks it off the arc. Anstey tries to keep it alive, but Kerr comes up with it.
Spurs better be careful they don't look ahead to Chicago too much. They're liable to lose one to Sacramento.
Jordan can't get it to go. Most of the Spurs games are like that, though. They're all low-scoring. Reeves buries it.
The Mavericks need to get some quick shots right now, but good shots.
Jordan for three. Michael Jordan drills from beyond the arc. 21 now for Michael in the ball game. 12 here in the second half, and the lead is up to 17. Reeves to the hole, counted, and will go to the line. Cedric Ceballos will come in as Strickland will sit down.
Reeves is good at this, without a doubt. Putting the ball on the floor, even in traffic, he gets shots off. He likes to go to the basket.
Reeves, one shot.
And Khalid completes the three-point play. He has 9 in the ball game, and the lead has been trimmed to 14 inside of 5.5 to play. Pippen just works his way through a sea of white jerseys, can't finish it off. Chris Anstey the rebound, and he throws it away to Pippen. Pippen slams it home.
Well, it's been a real educational experience for Chris Anstey in this ball game. It really has, but he will learn from it because he's shown that he is a quick learner.
Khalid Reeves all the way, and Khalid is putting on a show here in the fourth.
Remember that Reeves had a big game at the United Center in Chicago. He had 22 points against the Bulls, doing just that, flooring the ball. Small, aggressive point guards that can dribble a basketball give the Bulls trouble. Tim Hardaway, Kenny Anderson, people like that. Damon Stoudemire, they give the Bulls difficulty.
9 in the quarter for Reeves. Michael sees a quadruple team. Pippen left wide open, and he airballs the three. Soon as Michael got the ball, 4 white jerseys surrounded him. And Michael just has a little smile on his face as he walks to the other end.
I think he went by Pippen and said, "You just blew my assist."
Yeah.
Oh, my. Backcourt.
Yeah, it was touched by Judd Bushler, so it should belong to the Mavericks. 18 on the shot clock. They trail by 14. 4:27 to play in the ball game.
Phil Jackson wants to know, how can you see that? You were standing down here by me.
Phil, the 1996 Coach of the Year, fastest coach to get 500 career wins. Pat Riley had that title, but Phil surpassed him this season.
See, that's a personal thing here right now. Jordan wanted to shut down Finley.
And that'll be an illegal defense on Dickie Simpkins.
Michael Jordan very unhappy with Simpkins because Jordan was into it with Finley. And he talks to Simpkins right now. Look at that look on Jordan's face. Does not like to lose. He wants to defend Finley in this case. Finley's having a big game. Jordan wants the challenge. He thrives on that. His teammate gets an illegal defense, and it's hard for Jordan to defend Finley when he's at the free throw line. It won't work that way.
And the Mavericks now 6 of 17 from the line. Just over 30% shooting it. That's good, though. I like the battles that Michael Jordan picks. He picks and chooses his battles. Tonight it's against Finley.
He wants to play against the good ones.
He does.
Finley's a good one.
We saw it the other night with Bashan Leonard. After Leonard trash talked him in an earlier meeting between the two, Michael snares the rebound. Not bad. He's probably the best rebounding guard in the NBA right now. That title used to belong to Clyde Drexler, but Michael has really proven over the years he can get up. Simpkins to Bushler. That's a 2. Buries it. Now Bushler got his average.
It's another great compliment for Chicago off of the bench, though. Bushler and Phil Jackson not afraid to use him in tight ball games.
He doesn't mind playing him at a 2 or a 3. Knows he can shoot the 3. 10 to shoot. CEBALLOS going nowhere quickly. Gives it up. Anstey will launch it from just inside the line. AC after the air ball. Whistle and foul.
Foul by Michael Jordan.
That'll be Michael Jordan's 3rd personal. 4th team foul here in the 4th.
Anstey with a shot. It is long. It goes right on over the basket. AC Green.
AC Green, 2 shots.
Chicago Bull bench, and Michael Jordan unhappy with that call. He thought he had an excellent block.
AC 11 rebounds tonight to go along with his 9 points. You know, talking to Chris Anstey after that Washington game a couple of weeks ago, and he said, you know, when I shoot from the corner, I always think that it's going to be okay, but I'm always long. He said, that's something I need to work on. I said, are you going to keep shooting? He goes, oh, yes.
Well,
AC 10 and 11, a double-double for AC Green tonight.
That goes back, Ron, to, you know, if you're hot, shoot. If you're not hot, shoot till you get hot.
It's a shooter's mentality. Mark Price used to say, I may miss my first 5, but I'll make my next 5, and I'll be 50%. Michael Jordan elevates over CEBALLOS, doesn't get it. Green the rebound. Hey, folks, this is a 13-point game. A lot of time left. Reeves passes to an unnamed opponent in the first row of the stands.
Timeout, Chicago.
We'll take a timeout. 2:55 left. Mavericks trail by 13.
Call to the bench.
Steve with 10 in the ball game, and you look at this, the Mavericks field goal percentage 47%, the Bulls 39%, but you have to factor in the fact the Mavs have turned it over 10 times here in the second half, and the offensive rebounds.
It's all about the offensive rebounds. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's why you get that many more shots than your opponent.
As Michael was walking by us after inbounding the ball, fans yelling behind us, one more year, one more year. 6th turnover here in the second half for the Bulls. 11 for the ball game.
And I too hope it's one more year for
I
Michael
do too.
Jordan, and next year they'll be saying the same thing.
Yep. I think if the Bulls win it this year, you can expect 2-3 to come back.
Michael Jordan, 35 years old. There's some age on this team. Dennis Rodman will be 37 in May. Kerr, Pippen are 32. Harper's 34.
Anstey is young. The pass to Finley knocks over Simpkins. The follow won't go. The putback by Cedric CEBALLOS.
Finley and CEBALLOS on the offensive board. We'll be talking about Finley and CEBALLOS a lot in the future. Nelson would like to sign CEBALLOS, who will be a free agent after this year. He has made that statement publicly.
It's an 11-point lead, and the Mavericks can get it down to single digits inside of 2 minutes. Finley on Bushler, right around on the reverse, doesn't get it. CEBALLOS, no. Again, no. Rebound, Scottie Pippen. Oh, my.
They get that one, and Don Nelson simply puts his hand on top of his head. Mavericks are going to get it back.
Well, it was over and back. Scottie Pippen was well over the line when he tossed it in the backcourt. Let's see where he gets rid of the ball. He was inside.
Yeah, he was never in the front court.
Never in it.
So it was not an over and back call.
Well, the Mavericks trailing by 11, 1:40 to play. Low scoring game. The Bulls have not shot well. Mavericks, yes, Hubert Davis. His first points of the second half, and it's a 9-point Bull lead. You can just tell, though, that the Bulls aren't pushing a panic button. Davis almost knocks it away.
They want the ball in the hands of Jordan. It's that time in the game.
8 to shoot. Jordan has it tipped away. CEBALLOS thought he had the steal. And Michael Jordan will go back to the line. Jordan has not had a good night shooting the basketball this evening.
He's got 21 points. Michael Finley with 29 points.
Michael Jordan, 1 plus the penalty, 2 shots.
Scottie Pippen's got 18 points. This club is amazingly consistent. Consistency is certainly one of their strengths, night in and night out.
Now Jordan 9 of 20 shooting the basketball. He's only 3 of 6 from the free throw line. But throwing 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Struggling from the line tonight. The lead is 10. 63 seconds to go in the ball game. Davis gives it up. CEBALLOS will launch it. A little too strong. Anstey didn't look up quick enough to get the rebound.
He had a shot at it, but Pippen comes away with the ball.
Those are little things that Chris is going to learn. Simpkins lost it. Hubert's got it. CEBALLOS on the right. Finley on the left. CEBALLOS around Jordan to the hole. Doesn't get it, but we have a whistle and a foul. I think this is one of those games, and it's that time of the year, usually in March. And if you're the Chicago Bulls, you're coming off 2 emotional wins, obviously, the last being Miami. You just want to get a win and get out of here tonight.
Put it in the win column. That's exactly what you want to do, and that's what they've been able to do. You're playing against a team in the Dallas Mavericks that is playing much better in the last 6 ball games, been scoring a lot more points, playing with greater confidence. And when you look up on the board, the Mavericks don't have anything to be ashamed of. They've played hard. They caused Chicago to have to play hard defensively and to work hard to rebound the ball.
Now CEBALLOS with the points, had 10 rebounds and 3 blocks, a season high. Mavericks will put on some pressure, trailing by 8. Final 52 ticks. Simpkins gets it right back to Pippen. Mavericks showing the double with CEBALLOS and Davis. Kerr easily over the timeline. Simpkins has it poke checked away by Anstey. 12 to shoot for the Bulls. Final 40 seconds. The Mavericks trail by 8 in intermission, trail by 11 at the end of 3 as Tony KUKOC will come back in. Never led in this ball game.
Phil Jackson just plain and simply unhappy with the fact that Simpkins did not meet that pass and allowed the defender to come over his back and knock it out of bounds. So he replaces him with KUKOC.
Well, 7 of the last 9 games the Bulls have been able to crack the century mark. They're not going to do it tonight. Finley to CEBALLOS to the hole. Count it. And it's a 6-point game. 31 seconds left. You have to foul somebody. You've got to foul somebody, and they're not going to do it.
The only thing you
there
can
it
do.
Is. And you foul a guy who's a good free throw shooter. That's right.
This free throw is big because it takes a 2-possession game to a 3-possession game right now.
Shorts it. And quickly a timeout by the Mavericks with 22.5, and it's only a 6-point game. I think the Mavericks need to look up at the clock and say, wait a minute, we got a shot at this.
What happens if the Mavericks make their free throws? Where are they now, right now, in free throws in terms of made and attempted?
Greg Gleaver is looking it over for us, going to add it up. He's going to be a lot quicker than I am.
Well, Chicago has done that.
Bulls led by 19 early in the quarter. Since then, the Mavs have been on a 24-11 run. CEBALLOS will take it to the hole. Yes. I guess he just figured you got to get something. Now it is a 4-point Bull lead, and Michael Jordan is going to be fouled by Michael Finley.
Jordan lost his balance, and there were 200 people that wanted to catch him.
Yeah, I see 2 ladies on the front row, outstretched arms. CEBALLOS, good move. The Bulls let him have that, though.
Yeah, they forced him inside. They didn't want him to have a 3 because the 3 cuts it to 1 possession. Michael Jordan at the line. Well, this is what a lot of people wanted to see. Michael Jordan in a crucial situation, and it is just that. It's a 4-point ball game. Mavericks have done a wonderful job. They make their free throws. Nelson will use the timeout.
Now, for the first time in his career, Michael Jordan is under 80% free throw shooting, just a shade under that mark. He's 4 of 8 tonight.
You mean for the season?
For the season.
He's short there.
He's a career 80 plus.
I'll tell you what, I don't blame Don Nelson. He should be upset. Too much time ran off the clock. That timeout should have been, they're going to put time back on it.
And right now it's 13.2, a 5-point Bull lead. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. Added 1.7 on the clock, 14.9 to play, a 5-point Bulls lead. Mavericks trail 91-86. and you look at the 10 of 21 shooting from the line, and Michael Finley's 29 points, had a great night, but 10 of 21 from the stripe tonight for the Mavericks. If they shoot their normal 76%, that's 7 more free throws.
Yeah, that's 48%. The Mavericks shoot from the free throw line. The Mavericks now have only one remaining 20, while the Bulls have 2 fulls and a 20. Not over yet, folks.
You don't necessarily need a 3 in that situation. Davis with 10 seconds gets the deuce.
Now it's a 1-possession game. If the Mavericks can get it back, KUKOC looking to go deep, but Pippen saw him. He can run because the Mavericks scored, so Pippen can. Oh, there's almost a 5-second
call. It belongs to the Mavericks.
Mavericks got it back.
Pippen was indecisive of calling the timeout, and with 10 seconds left, it's a 3-point game.
Don Nelson takes the 20-second timeout. Phil Jackson is beside himself.
Ron Alesiak, you know, sometimes when you fool around with a team like the Dallas Mavericks, you think you've got it in the bag. It comes up to bite you right in the backside.
Wouldn't this be something here?
My goodness. Here we go, folks. The final 10.1.
Let's work in overtime, my friend.
Green right back to CEBALLOS. No, he keeps it. Got to get a shot off a smuggling defense. CEBALLOS. Yes!
How about
my goodness!
Holy cow! How did he hit the shot?
Unbelievable. A swarming defense. He was just about fouled also on the play. Phil Jackson glaring at Ron Alesiak. Our replay shows he has absolutely no beef. He's lucky that wasn't a 4-point play by CEBALLOS.
I thought he might have gotten fouled, and Chicago's still not happy about the call you referred to, but we saw clearly the 5-second violation. Here's with the clock. CEBALLOS will get the ball back. Here he comes. Defense is all over him. They don't foul him. How about a tough shot against the double team and the trap? Oh, you know what? There are some people in the parking lot right now and in their cars on the way home wondering what in the world has happened inside the arena. Cedric CEBALLOS hit a 3. It's 91-91. 3.9 seconds on the clock. The Mavericks will probably extend a little bit defensively to force some time off the clock. And Jordan is thinking about, how can I win it? And obviously he knows how to do this. He's been in this situation many, many times. There's going to be a lot of talk about what a lot of people thought was a bad call, and I'm going to correct it again. It was not a bad call. The Mavericks had a wonderful 17-2 run in the last 344 of this game.
Now the Mavericks are 2-4 in overtime. The Bulls 3-0 in overtime. But Steve Kerr is in the lineup. You have to be careful with him. 3.9, which is plenty of time to get a good shot off. What the Mavericks need to do a lot of times, you try to deny that inbounds pass, and you try to cover up foul line extended, correct?
That is correct. You do not want to commit a foul now.
That's the key. They're not guarding the inbounds pass. Interesting to KUKOC. One dribble for the win. It goes in and out. We're going to overtime. KUKOC, point-blank range, can't get it to drop.
Chicago used Michael Jordan that time as a detour. They used him to work away from KUKOC. They took the defense away from KUKOC, which allowed him to get down inside.
KUKOC very disappointed. Thought he had the shot. We've got 5 more minutes from reunion. Don't touch the dial.
Wouldn't it be great?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cedric CEBALLOS the hero. Look at it again.
The score was 91-88. You got CEBALLOS with the ball. He goes up with a double team. 91-91. Overtime. The Bulls have played 3 this year. As Ron told you, they have won all 3. 2 of the 3s were double overtime.
Sean Bradley in for the tip, and the Mavericks have it. CEBALLOS to the hole. Count it! 20 for Cedric, 23 for Cedric Ceballos, the first Dallas Maverick lead of the ball game.
Big substitution by Don Nelson. He put Bradley in the game for the tip, and Bradley controlled it.
Jordan can't get it. The shooting woes continue for the Bulls. Green pushing it. He's going to take it to the hole. Gives it up to Finley. For three. Yes!
Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my.
A 5-point advantage for the Mavericks over the Bulls. Everybody is standing at Reunion, the largest crowd to see a sporting event here in Dallas in Reunion Arena. KUKOC, 6 to shoot. He'll launch it for three. Buries it.
That's huge. That is a tremendous pressure shot by KUKOC.
And the lead is 2 inside of 4 minutes. Davis on Kerr. Ceballos working on Pippen. Spins up and under. Scoop won't go. Rebound Dennis Rodman. Elbows flying. Keeps it alive. 18
times Rodman has come away with a rebound.
Jordan on Finley. Bradley shows the double. Kerr wide open for three. Doesn't get it. Rodman tying up Bradley. Throws him to the ground. And it's going to be a loose ball foul on Dennis Rodman.
Loose ball foul, Dennis Rodman.
That'll be Rodman's third personal, first team foul.
Bradley and Rodman get tied up down low. You see the foul. Rodman is literally hanging on to Bradley. Could have been a flagrant 1 right there. I don't think it would have been a flagrant 2, but a flagrant 1, the free throw and the ball back. A 2 means free throws, the ball, and ejection.
Bradley out, Anstey in. Anstey guarded by KUKOC. Looking for Davis, straight back door. Gives it up to Green, 10 to shoot. AC just lost the handle.
The ball slipped out of his hand when he went to shoot it.
Mavericks by 2, 3:04 left in overtime. Michael for the lead. Rebound Ceballos.
Mavericks attacking, which is what you have to do. You cannot mess around with Chicago. You've got to attack them.
What a shot for the rookie from Australia. And the Mavericks have taken a 4-point advantage in overtime. 2:46 to play.
Get it to overtime, and boy, I tell you, they've been firing from the arc here tonight in the extra session. There's the last time the Bulls were beaten by the Mavs. Finley with a three-pointer. KUKOC answered that, but the Mavs have outscored the Bulls by 4 in this extra session so far. Rodman kicks to Pippen. Jordan against Finley. 25 for Jordan. 2-point Dallas lead. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in overtime. Anstey guarded by KUKOC. Cedric Ceballos. Spinning on Pippen. Beautiful move. 25 for Ceballos. Under 2 minutes to go in overtime, and the lead is 4 for Dallas. Ten to go on the shot clock. Jordan at the arc. Pippen from the corner for three. Rodman able to capture. Kerr out front for three. Nope. Tipped by Rodman, won't go. Anstey the rebound, and he's fouled. I'll tell you what, the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds of regulation and this overtime period are absolutely unbelievable.
Double technical now they get on Anstey and on Rodman, but it'll be no shooters.
There is Ron Elysiak stepping in between the two.
First and the last 2 minutes on the foul, and that's what it'll end up being. Each get a double technical. Now Dick Pavetta talking to Ron Elysiak to figure out what's going on.
So 1:28 to go. The Mavericks leading by 4. The Bulls sputtered their way down the stretch of this ball game in regulation and are in danger of letting this get away totally. They allowed it to get to an extra session, and Dallas has the lead now. Now Don Nelson is up.
He said they call a foul on that play. It's the first in the last 2 minutes. So Nelly lost track of what was going on, too.
He's not supposed to, is he?
Well, they look up at the scoreboard and they show 4 fouls, which means that the next one is in a penalty, not necessarily the one now.
Hubert Davis.
Oh, they got a little good thing going here in Dallas tonight.
Dallas looking for a dagger.
He throws it away.
Anstey threw it away trying to hit CEBALLOS. So the Bulls get an opportunity perhaps. 4-point Dallas lead. Plenty of time left in this one. 1:17 to go in overtime. Jordan on the drive, draws contact in the foul. Anstey picked him up, and the foul, though, was committed, I believe, by CEBALLOS. Is it Anstey or CEBALLOS did they call that foul on?
Well, neither one of them are in foul trouble. It didn't make too much difference.
Jordan's going to the line anyway.
You're right.
He was at the act of shooting.
Michael will be the shooter.
They called it on CEBALLOS. I had it right at first. 26 for Jordan. This one could pull the Bulls to within 2 with 68 seconds remaining. Biggest lead tonight, John, at 19 points for the Bulls.
Well, in that third quarter, Michael misses the free throw. In that third quarter, they were 18-8 of points in the paint. They just kept attacking the basket.
You would figure the Bulls have to get a stop here. Jordan tips it away from Finley. Finley recovers. Anstey for the jam.
We got a new hero here.
4 points in overtime for Chris Anstey. The Mavericks lead by 5. Under a minute to go in overtime. Pippen pull up for 3.
Not close. Anstey with the rebound. Spread it out, they say. 5-point lead, and the Bulls have handed this one away. That kick just turned it over and handed it away.
Green flashes the lane. Blocked by KUKOC. AC can't make it go. 20 seconds remaining.
Bulls need a 3 on this play.
KUKOC out front. Chased down by Rodman to Scottie Pippen. Pippen's 3. Time winding down. AC Green with a rebound. Foul by Pippen with 6.9 remaining. And the Dallas Mavericks are going to pull off an unbelievable comeback victory over the Bulls. You know, we've been lamenting how bad the Bulls have played down the stretch, and in fact they have. To give this team from Dallas a little bit of credit, they took advantage of the opportunity.
Almost a steal here by Michael Jordan. He taps the ball away and he can't come up with it. And now Michael Finley goes down a lane up in the air and he finds Anstey, and there he goes up and deposits it. Beautifully done, and this team has made their free throws when it counts. The Bulls have not been able to make them and had not focused or functioned in that last quarter. I mean, they could have just destroyed them going in there leading by 11, but the Bulls going to turn this baby over big time.
11 for AC Green, a nail in the coffin of Phil Jackson's Bulls in this game. 103-97, 6.9 seconds remaining. Chris Anstey comes to the bench for Dallas, receiving a rousing round of applause. 4 points for Anstey in overtime. Cedric CEBALLOS' desperation tray tied the game in the final seconds of regulation. AC Green puts Dallas in front by 7, and AC Green comes to the bench.
No timeout. They don't want a timeout.
And Dallas had gone to the bench thinking the Bulls had
They want a
timeout.
No timeout. Don Nelson said, didn't they call a timeout? No timeout. Let's see if they...
Phil is actually walking off the floor right now.
Yeah, they're going to just bring it in, and Bulls hand one to the Dallas Mavericks.
The Dallas Mavericks' 14th victory of the season comes at the expense of the world champion Chicago Bulls. Dallas continues a string against quality opponents. Victories over New York with Ewing, Seattle twice, Indiana, at Minnesota, and at Washington. Here tonight, they knock off the two-time defending champion, world champion Chicago Bulls. Our high-flying score for the Chicago Bulls in the game. Southwest Airlines high-flying score, Michael Jordan with 26 points, 7 rebounds.